and girls. This is Miss Burkholtz here. Today we're going to be drawing a wizard, in keeping with our theme of magic this week. And as you boys and girls know, I am always down to draw a wizard. Unfortunately, this one's not a Harry Potter one, but all wizards are awesome. For today's project, you are going to need some markers, some washable markers, if you want to do this sort of outside painted effect of the wizard glowing. A permanent marker. If you don't have a permanent marker, you can definitely use a pencil instead. And then I just use colored pencils to color my guy in, but you can use really whatever you want. I like colored pencils and crayons. I know a lot of you guys like markers. Go ahead and get that stuff out, and while you are getting ready, I'm going to go ahead and read my Bob Ross quote. This one says, "Isn't that fantastic? I knew you could do it." Aw, Bob Ross is full of joy and inspiration and believing in yourself as an artist. All right, you got all your stuff? Yeah, I hope so. This is generally what it's going to look like. Of course, every time I draw something, it comes out a little different, and that's okay. Making our paper going up and down. I'm going to start with my Sharpie. Put my other stuff off to the side. Oh, snap, and I forgot. You are going to need some water, and I have my little magical mug here. Today will be magical. And a brush. If you don't have a brush, you can use a sponge, because you don't have to be very precise with the painting part of this today. All right, you got your Sharpie, your pencil, ready to go? We're going to start with the glasses, which are going to be 2 circles, about the same size, in the middle of our paper. So with our paper going up and down, I'm going to draw a circle. And on the other side, just a little bit away, another circle. Lovely. And I'm going to draw a line going across as the bridge for our glasses. Now I'm going to make it a little bit thicker. These look like Harry Potter glasses already. That makes me very happy. Don't worry about being perfect. As you know, we're all human. Nobody's perfect. We're just trying to make them look fun and look cool for our goofy looking wizard. Now, this wizard drawing was inspired by another art teacher who is amazing. Her name is Cassie Stevens, and I watch her videos all the time. So if you want to look up Cassie Stevens for more cool ideas, I definitely recommend it. All right, you got your glasses done? Good? All right. Next, we're going to draw our eyeballs. I'm going to draw these ones a little different than my last ones. 2 smaller circles. A curve. A little curve on the bottom. A curve. And a little curve on the bottom. Shade in this little part here. Do, 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 do. Yeah. Now we're going to keep it kind of cartoony, so I'm going to do a little curve for my nosy nose. For an open smile, I'm going to draw a line across. Now, if I want my wizard just to be thinking up like magical potions and spells, I'm probably going to keep him or her just very straight face like this, but I'm going to make mine kind of goofy. So I'm going to have a smile like that. And you could put a tongue in, you could put teeth in, or both, really. You can even make them missing some teeth just to add some interest to the character. Burp, burp. And shading in for the dark part of the mouth. All right, is everybody tracking so far? Y'all okay? All right, next we're going to do eyebrows. And since this is a cartoony picture, I usually have my eyebrows pretty bushy and floating up. Now for the beard, it's going to be kind of like a big U going around the bottom of the face. And you can make it really big or really small. That part's up to you. But we're just going to do hippity hops. So from here, hippity hop, do, 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 all the way to here. Are you ready? Here we go. Hippity hop, hippity hop, hippity hop, hippity hop, hippity hop, hippity. Whoa. And that's it for our crazy beard. Next, dun, 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 we are going to draw the brim, everyone say brim, of our hat. And that's the big wide part that goes on his head. I'm going to put a dot just higher than his glasses over here. Boop. And then another dot over here, just a little bit higher than his glasses. Burp, on the other side. Y'all got it? Next, I'm going to draw a big curve that goes across. Now, it's a very gentle one that goes across his head and meets both curves. Lovely. And I'm going to do another teeny tiny curve right above here for the part of the brim that you actually can see. Oop, I just missed my dot. All right, now do you see how his head is kind of floating? We don't want a floating head. Even though he's a wizard, we do want him to have a normal head. We're going to draw 2 little lines going up, so it looks like he's actually in the hat. And one other way to make him look like he's in the hat is to draw a curve, and another curve, stopping right where the hair is. Y'all see how, oh, he looks like he's in his wizard's cap. Now, what's one part of the face I forgot to do? Did you guys say ears? I hope so. Ears. I'm going to do a backward C here and a forward C here. And those are his goofy, boofy ears. Now, for a wizard's cap, you can do it a bunch of different ways. On my other picture, y'all can see he's really goofy looking, so he's got those squiggles going up to a point, but you can make it straight up and down. You can make a curly Q hat. It is your wizard, so you figure out what kind of hat you want, okay? The only thing I do want you to do is to put a dot to help you know where you're going to end up. So if you're doing crazy lines, it's good to know that, okay, this is where I got to end. You're going to start right here, right on one side of the face, and I'm going to do my little wobble lines, like it's a really old hat, like the old wizard. And then I'm going to start over here right above his head, because it's about the same size as his head, right? And it comes to a point. Ta-da! There is our basic wizard hat. All right, now for our body. It's a very cartoony toon kind of thing, so don't worry about making your body realistic. Go ahead and draw a line going down and out. On the same thing on the other side, down and out. And a curve across. This is his robe. Lovely. Y'all got it? Now for his feety feet, I'm just going to draw a long Mr. Vertical and a shorter Mr. Vertical. Same thing on the other side. A longer Mr. Vertical and a shorter Mr. Vertical. Awesome. Now for his feet, this is how I like to draw cartoony toon feet, but if y'all like to do your own thing, feel free. I'm going to draw a mama horizontal, point, and curve back up. Mama horizontal, point, and curve back up. And he's got goofy looking feet already. Are you ready for the arms, guys? Yeah? All right, here we go. Right where his beard meets his robe, I'm going to draw a diagonal. Mr. Vertical swinging down. This is his big puffy sleeves. And then another diagonal going back in. This is him with his wand hanging out. Since it's a cartoon, we don't have to worry about fancy hands or anything. So I'm just going to draw a circle. Same thing on the other side because he looks like he's super excited. Aha! I've got it! I know how to turn you into a toad! Ho ho ho! That's exactly how all wizards sound. You know that, right? Yeah? Yeah, totally. All right, for the wand, really it's just 2 little lines that come to a point coming out of his hand, like that. And then if you want to make it a little bit longer like mine, just do a teeny tiny whoop, a little extra down there. Now, most of the rest of the drawing part is pretty simple. You can decorate yours. You can put swirls on it or rainbows. You can just color it in or leave it black and white. I know with mine, I like to put little tassels on the top of my hat. And I like to do stars like this, where you just do the outside. But if you are struggling with stars and you're not really sure how to do them, maybe you could practice a little bit on another sheet of paper. But I'm going to go ahead and do some stars hanging out. Maybe some swirly whirls. I think it looks a little more realistic if, not that we're worried about being realistic with this one, but it looks more 3D if we have parts of our design on the edge. That way it shows that the pattern goes all the way around. And I kind of like it when stars don't look perfect. I like them kind of looking like somebody cut them out or scribbled them on. They just look more interesting to me than when things are all perfectly straight. Goofiness goes a long way, especially with cartoony tunes. There's a little moon. Alright, now at this point in the video, if you want to color it in, I suggest you go ahead and pause this video, take your time coloring, add whatever details you want. I'm going to skip the coloring part and go straight to the painting with marker part, just so I can show you what you need to know, but at the same time, not hinder your creativity, because I definitely want y'all to feel like you can be as creative as you want as we go and do these drawings together. Okay, I think I'm done with my designs. Go ahead and put the cap on my Sharpie. Remember, you got to snap it. And I'm going to take my washable markers. Now I'm using two warm colors. Remember, warm colors are reds, oranges, and yellows. Cool colors are purples, greens, and blues. So if you are going to use cool colors, great. If you're going to use warm colors, great, but I would not suggest you use both on the outside part. So after you've colored yours in, pretend I've colored mine, you are going to go ahead and make it go really, really thick lines around the outside of your wizard. You don't want a nice skinny line like this, although that looks really precise. You want it really, really, really thick. That way when we paint with this, there will be plenty of marker dye on the paper to smudge. Now you may notice that as I draw, I move my paper around a lot, and I use my other hand to hold it down. That way I have the most control over what I'm doing, especially when I get in teeny tiny spots like this. Holding my paper steady and being able to turn it at the same time is really important for precise art. Alright, now I have a kind of desk that it doesn't really bother me if I get stuff on it. I've used it for so many different projects, so many different paintings, it's not a big deal. But if you are working on your kitchen table or your dining room table or on a fancy like floor and your mom or dad or whoever is worried about you making a mess, it's always a good idea to put a piece of scrap paper underneath your papers when you're coloring, and especially when you're painting. Because I am going to be painting and it's going to come right up to the edge of the paper. It will probably get on my desk. So just be warned, this could get a little bit messy. Now on this yellow part, I'm not being as concerned about being precise because when I paint, it's all going to smudge anyway. So it's not a big deal. You're not quite perfect. All right. So he already looks a little bit like he's glowing. Putting the cap on my marker, putting this off to the side. And then I'm going to go ahead and take my lovely brush and water. Get plenty of water on that brush, and I'm just going to take my time adding water on top of your marker. Now it might take a minute or two, or well, not a minute, but a couple of seconds to get that area wet enough to turn it into paint. But I guarantee you, you can spread it out and turn it into a way to paint a cool glowing effect around your picture. Ta-da! Pretty cool, right? Pretty easy peasy. Notice I'm going to have to keep getting my brush wet over and over. All you need is water and marker for this. And once I'm done with it, I'm definitely not going to be touching this for 5 to 10 minutes because it's going to take a little bit to dry, even more than that, depending on how wet you make your stuff. Whoops. And if you do get a little drip like that, you should plan ahead more than I did and get yourself a paper towel to dry off any little mistakes, because if you catch water really quick, even if it's got a little bit of marker or paint on it, it will come right off. No big deal. All right, boys and girls, it looks like that's about it for today. I'm gonna have to clean up after myself in just a minute, and I hope you guys do too. I would love to see your artwork. You can email me, you can send me a class dojo, we can have a meeting on Teams. I'd love to hear from y'all and just see your artwork or just see your smiling face. I hope you enjoyed drawing a wizard with me today. Don't forget to be awesome. I love you guys, and goodbye.